Hello, hello. This is Ross Vertel, fifth reader on the forums. Obviously, I'm not driving. Had another problem with the recording setup. I will fire my engineer. Do not worry. But this is the final day of spoilers for continuing mission. The set is going to be going live about 6 hours from me saying the sentence, and I wanted to get some thoughts out on the final cards revealed. I traditionally do not do this on a day where the cards are where the set is revealed. So this will be the season finale of sorts. With that, let's get to it. We're going to start with the cards that suffered from the other problem that I had and couldn't cover. So without further ado, let me reintroduce you to Earth Orbit. Yeah, I remember the days of cadet decks. I do not want to see them coming back. No, thank you very much. But this is not the traditional cadet deck. This goes the paranoia route, which means you're going with Earth Thief Space 9. And I like how this brings out a new type of deck. It's always good to do that. Cadets really aren't in that deck, so we'll see how they go together. It is in Sector 001, so there are some really cool things that they can do with this. I can see some other people coming over, maybe. The Treachery Admiral is an issue, and of course, if we're going Treachery route, well, Treachery would give issues with Integrity, not Cunning. And 35 points, not too bad. It is pretty good with Hollister, the 9 unique personnel you get from it. Discarding paranoia cards and then drawing an equal number of cards makes that deck better. That deck generally has a lot of paranoias in it, especially with Sparber, who gets rid of them, the ones that are particularly causing you pain. I'm thinking of, I can't name it offhand, I know Bad Ross, but the one event that you play that gets you 3 draws, but you cannot move to or from Earth, which you're probably going to want to do at some point with your deck. I do like how she has exobiology and geology. Those 2 skills are money in an Earth deck, regardless of whether or not you use the text. Don't need to point out the synergy between her discarding paranoia cards and you getting Earth orbits, you getting them back with Earth orbits. I will note that you might not want to play Hollister right away. You might want to wait until a little further down the line when you can really make use of her ability. She is non-unique, so you could play a bunch of her at different times and make use of her ability. All right, that takes us to the cards for today, starting with Vandross Prime. It's based around the Cardassian dissidents. There are some cool things you can do with this to get your personnel directly there. I did look at the existing Dissident Cardassia Prime. Not sure how much the synergy will go. I probably need to be sitting across the table from someone who beats my rear end with it. But I do see how this has a place. I did look up dissidents. I'm probably going to link that in the show notes below. But I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of tricks you can do with it. There is an online Morn. He either does something with drawing or discarding. I'm not sure. It's with the Terok Nor arc. But he's the only one that obviously lent himself to shenanigans with this. I do want to point out that your Starfleet personnel can use spatial interference to attempt this mission. Because look, you just need 3 dissidents. You don't need Cardassian dissidents. It is a little away from their home. The 200 security is definitely in their wheelhouse. Even if you're not specifically going to Terok, what is it? The Terra Prime route. So this does have a place in a couple decks. And that takes us to the card that has gotten a bunch of discussion today, the Wadi Homeworld. There's a thread on the forums. I will link that in the video description down below as well. The first thing I'm going to do when I look at this is break out the calculator and start looking at some numbers. If I gave you the 15 points and I've got those chulas, will you get a win with one less mission? If you still have to solve 3 missions, you still have to solve 3 missions. I will note that there's things that a Ferengi player can do with those points. There's things that the Dominion player can do, but the Dominion crew really don't use 5 points as a cost, with the Tulaberry team at least. Dominion has uses for this, especially if they are playing the new Dominion homeworld. But the Ferengi have use for 5 points. Quark's treasure. They can use those 5 points to take an extra turn. There are uses they can do, and you do not want to give them the ammunition they need to beat you with that extra turn. Of course, if they don't win, they lose the event, which is something that I don't mind. So there are tricks that the Ferengi can do with this. The attributes aren't all that bad on their own, but it is in the Gamma Quadrant. Not sure if you're going there. So yeah, there are some really cool things you can do with this mission, and that's something that I can say with a lot of the cards in the set. It is a banger of a set. Did a great job with the missions. There's a lot of decks these can go into. I'm really excited to see what happens when it hits the scene 1 week from tomorrow on March 8th. Huge thanks to design, and that's not all the people. This is not an exhaustive list, but thank you to creative, art, rules, programming, and of course, scores of playtesters. These are in no particular order. Have so much fun with these cards. There's a lot of fun to be had. Thank you very much for listening through the season. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun printing the cards. And especially thanking you who've smashed that like button. Thank you very much. All right, that's all that I have. Enjoy the cards and live long and prosper. Enjoy them. There's a lot of fun stuff in the set. Danny did an excellent job, so did Benjamin Liebeck. All right, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much, and have a good